So Tom, in an organization we have leaders at all kinds of levels. Mm-hmm. Are they equally influenced by this structure?
So we've got different levels in an organization from a leadership perspective, no doubt. We've got some top leaders, we've got some middle managers or middle tier leaders, and then we've got some frontline leaders. And they are all impacted, of course, by the context, but differently. So if we look at the very high level, the top management level or the top leadership level, they are responsible for making choices, long-term choices, long horizon, very often based on good judgment calls, based on trends, based on external environment, which they can't totally foresee how it will play out. Then they are responsible for setting the structures, setting some priorities in regards to the culture. So they give guidance on how and what we should actually be working on. That lands in the middle tier, who are the ones who have the biggest task in regards to contextual leadership. And they have that task because they are first and foremost interpreters of strategy, interpreters of the operating model. In some instances, they'll get the answers and the guidance from the top. In other instances, they need to set the priorities and then verify them up the chain. If it is a matrix, it's even more so. They need to exercise shared leadership, coordinate with their peers, build a shared understanding of the contextual parameters that are the most crucial ones to align on across the different functions. They need to understand what is it that drives a matrix, and often that's interdependency and matching external complexity with internal complexity so that we can actually handle that variation and complexity in the value creation. They have to give clear guidance to their people, and they need to involve them in interpreting what is the cultural move, what is the way we want the organization to work, how do we want to stabilize processes and formalize them. They are the ones that make centralization work or decentralization work. So the middle tier in an organization are the ones that are really the shapers of the context, but based on guidance, on strategic, long-term rail setting from the top leadership. Then of course frontline leaders, they live in a context. They need to get to know that context. They need to understand contextual changes that reach into their area. So if you go from a very local way of operating to having more global process owners that cut across, all of a sudden that reaches into the frontline leaders' way of working, and they need to understand how to make that context come alive in their area. But the ones that are really challenged and that really need to work with contextual leadership is the middle tier and the top leadership levels.